Hi guys, I just wanted to give you my thoughts on Joy, the new semi-biopic that was done by David O. Russell, and he reunited his leads from Silver Linings Playbook, which included Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley Cooper, and David O. Russell. Now, I just got back from seeing this, and I can understand why this was getting mixed reviews from critics because of the fact that, I mean, which is ironic, because given the movie is titled Joy, it does. I know it wasn't like intentional. Like it didn't mean. I mean, obviously, it wasn't meant to be like, oh, it means like a joyous movie. It was. It can be pretty it's a little depressing to watch because the movie is based on Home Shopping, the life of Home Shopping Network host, Joy Magnano, who, and this is basically her rags to riches story about how she invented the Miracle Mop and showed it off on QVC and put her life savings into it, and basically how she became a multimillionaire from having it patented and also from having it and also from and also from and all not depicted in the movie from other like patents that she made throughout her career. But only I found out from a Time magazine article that only 50% of the movie was actually based on Joy's life, just because that she wanted to keep it as private as possible, and the other 50% was just based on women who had inspired David O. Russell, and she didn't actually consult with Joy Magnano until late in the process of, I guess, pre-production and writing the screenplay for the movie. But as always, Jennifer Lawrence, she shines in this movie. Every movie she's been in, it's like she can act with the best of them, where she can pull off being just as capable as holding her own, carrying a scene, being a strong, independent woman, also at the same time being vulnerable. And it's just like her performances are just so captivating. While I mean, and also, Robert Downey Jr., they give stellar performances. Also get stellar performances from Bradley Cooper, who's the head of QVC, who, buys the Miracle Mop from her, or at least is the head of the QVC studios and agrees to sell the Miracle Mop on the network. Um, and also from Virginia Madsen, Elizabeth Rom. I'm probably not getting her name right. She was on Law and Order for several years, and also for anybody who's a Wheatonite. She was also on Angel as Detective Kate Lockley for the first two seasons, as like her vengeful, basically her older like half sister who works in the factory with the dad played by Robert De Niro, and always just trying to wanting to get her own business off the ground, and also just trying to, I don't know. Basically, the biggest problem with this movie is that it just seems like, I don't know what her Magnano's real family is like, but apparently in the movie they're incredibly unlikable, and they even try to like they even try to give her like put downs and even keep her from succeeding. They even try to micromanage her business to the point to her own detriment, and it's like they never really seem to believe in her. Even like Bradley Cooper, who's like one of the people who supports the idea. There's even a moment where even after the first sale of the Miracle Mop flops, he just decides like, oh, you know what, this was a bad idea to begin with. But it just feels very forced, and it just feels like it was just done for the sake of, just let's decide with one other obstacle. One other person doesn't believe in her, and I get that David O. Russell is trying to like sell the fact that it's like, women have to struggle more than the men and to overcome all these different obstacles, but it just feels like it's just over exaggerated, and it just feels like he just overdid it in a sense. And it was just sort of, like I said, it was just very dour to watch. I mean, basically the only people who showed any kind of emotional support for her and her ideas were her best friend from childhood and her ex-husband and her grandmother and her daughter. and basically like the grandmother said, like her and the ex-husband were better friends than they were as a because he, because he's the one that had the connections to help, for the QVC, and help her get her invention off the ground, and help. That was one of her advisors for when she became like an entrepreneur, and she got her own company called Ingenious Design before it like sold it off to the Home Shopping Network and became this multimillionaire now living on Long Island. Like I said, the performances were stellar from everybody all around. He means a David O. Russell piece. You can't expect anything less from that. Like I said, the performances. I mean, the people. The family was, like I said. I don't know what their family's like, but basically they're just. I don't know. Like you said, David O. Russell like went overboard in terms of like trying to have her face adversities and have her surrounded by people who never wanted her to succeed, to the point where it's just kind of like depressing to watch, and just feels like she just comes from this family of jerks, and she's the one who has to be the caretaker for everybody in the family, to the point where it's just like you're wondering like why even bother. Like they kind of treat her like crap, to be honest. And it just feels like, I don't know. I've been started getting into David O. Russell movies ever since The Fighter and Silver Linings Playbook, but it just seems like after American Hustle, where that was a movie where it just felt like he just did it for the sake of, let's get like all the actors I got from my last two movies together in order to get a shot of doing a movie for this and getting a lot of Oscars. It just seems like he's lost his way a little bit, and that one didn't seem like a passion project, although this movie seemed like more like he was trying to go back to his roots and making it more like a passion project. I'm not sure if I agree with his decision to make it only 50% factual. I mean, I think he should try to make more of an effort to, in my opinion, make it more factual and less fiction, and as opposed to like, I mean, I guess he's trying to convey a message, what the message he's trying to convey, but it just feels like, again, it's a tough movie to sit through at times. But again, there has great performances, a great story, and especially from Jennifer Lawrence. And I mean, I say that I give the movie like a 3 point. I think a 3 point. I just give it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's pretty good. It's a little bit tough to watch, but I would not say it's one of David O. Russell's better movies for sure. But again, as far as like movie reviews are concerned, I mean, I watched, like, before I went to see this movie, I watched the reviews about the movie from Schmo's No channel, from Chris Stuckman's channel. I'm a fan of those channels, and I can kind of see where they're coming from, and I kind of knew what I was getting into, but I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting into, but it's like, I think it's one thing for them to hear it from other people. It's another thing to go in and see this like firsthand. But like I said, I'm fans of these channels, and if you like movie reviews, you can go check out their channels. I'll put up some links. I'm gonna put up some links for their channels since they have more time to review movies than I do. And also, again, but in case you want to see what my thoughts are on the movies that I've seen over the last few weeks, I'll also put up annotations for those, and also trailer reactions. If you like what you see here, if is there anything you haven't talked about? Did you guys see the movie? Did you like it? Please let me know. Let me know down in the comments down below. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.